All right, today we're doing something a little different. We're going to architect a real venture, a blueprint designed to tackle one of Nigeria's absolute biggest challenges. And this isn't just some business plan on paper. No, this is about building homes, building wealth, and maybe most importantly, building trust right from the ground up.
And look, we're not talking about a small niche problem here. We are going right for the heart of an issue that affects millions of people every single day. It shapes their finances, it shapes their family life, it shapes their entire future. That's right, housing. But let's be super clear about what we mean. We're not talking about more empty luxury apartments in the city center. We're talking about real, affordable homes for the actual working people who make the economy run. So, that's the real question, isn't it? It's one thing to say, hey, there's a problem. It is a completely different ballgame to actually design a system that can solve it, and solve it in a way that lasts. And that is exactly what we are going to unpack today. Okay, so here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll look at Nigeria's housing gridlock, then the cooperative-powered solution. After that, the all-important legal and financial blueprint. Then we'll get into scaling, and we'll wrap up with a final, crucial warning from the architect. Right, let's dive into part one. To solve a problem, you first have to understand it. So what does this housing crisis actually feel like for the people who are stuck right in the middle of it? It's really a perfect storm. Your rent just keeps going up and up, so you can't save. Getting a mortgage is next to impossible. And all the big developers, they're only interested in building super expensive luxury projects. On top of all that, the whole property market is filled with so much mistrust. People are just terrified of being taken for a ride. The middle class is completely squeezed out. But here's the crazy part. The demand is absolutely massive. You've got millions of professionals, salary earners, and even organized groups like teachers and civil servant cooperatives who are ready and willing to pay. And then you have this other huge pool of money, Nigerians living abroad who are desperate to find safe, reliable ways to invest back home. And this is so important. The real problem isn't just a lack of houses. It's a lack of a trustworthy system that can deliver those houses. The opportunity here isn't just in mixing cement and laying bricks. It's in building a reliable structure that people can actually believe in. Okay, so if the problem is structural, then you can bet the solution has to be structural too. And that brings us to the real genius at the heart of this idea, this really interesting hybrid model. It's called a cooperative-based housing development fund. All that really means is you're taking the best of two worlds. You're taking the power of community, people pooling their money, and you're combining it with sharp, professional management that knows how to get things done and, crucially, protect everyone's investment. This is the magic right here. See, on one side, you have the cooperative society. Its job is to build the community, create that trust, and gather all the funds from members. On the other side, you have a separate professional company. Its only job is to execute, buy the land, manage the builders, and deliver the houses. This separation is everything, because it protects the community's money from the risks of the project. And that separation is absolutely vital, because this next part we're about to get into, the legal and financial stuff, this is where almost every project like this just dies. Getting this piece of the puzzle right is the whole game. So the process is beautifully simple. Step 1, the cooperative builds that trusted community and pools the money. Step 2, the separate company takes that money and executes the plan. That clean division of labor is what creates safety, transparency, and makes the whole thing run smoothly. Now, to pull this off, you have to be absolutely obsessed with the details. Verifying that land title is not a suggestion, it's non-negotiable. Your agreements with members have to be crystal clear. Your accounting has to be completely transparent. And you better believe you need to get every single government approval. There are zero shortcuts here. Okay, let's be real for a second. This is not a cheap venture. It's an asset-heavy model. Buying land costs a lot, putting in roads and pipes costs a lot, and construction costs a lot. But the beauty of this cooperative structure is that the money doesn't just come from one place. It comes from the members, it comes from banks, and it comes from all those diaspora investors we talked about. So let's say you build that strong legal and financial engine. Once that's running, well, the potential to scale this thing up is just mind-blowing. This isn't about building one little project and calling it a day. This is where you get this incredible flywheel, this network effect. See, the more members you get, the more money you have. The more money you have, the bigger the projects you can build. And when you build bigger projects, you get economies of scale, which means the cost per house goes down for every single person. Success creates more success. And this model isn't just for one city. A housing gap exists in Lagos, for sure, but it also exists in Abuja, Port Harcourt, and Ibon. You can take this exact same blueprint and apply it across the continent, in Kenya, in Ghana, in South Africa. It's a solution to a massive African problem, and it can be powered by a global diaspora. And what's the endgame? Well, here it is. After you've built a solid portfolio of properties, the company can bundle them all up and turn them into something called a real estate investment trust, or a REIT. Think of it like a stock that lets people invest in a collection of buildings. This move transforms the entire venture from just a home building project into a powerful income-generating machine for all the original investors. So yeah, the opportunity here is just immense. But we have to end this with a serious dose of reality, because in the world of real estate, big opportunity always comes with big risk. These are the monsters you have to watch out for. A single fight over who owns the land can kill the whole thing. Bad governance or sketchy fund management will destroy trust in a heartbeat. Running out of money halfway through building is an absolute disaster, and getting stuck without the right government approvals will stop you cold. And if you remember one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this. It all comes down to the structure. One little mistake, one corner you try to cut, one document you don't check, and the whole thing can fall apart. The details aren't just details here. The details are everything. But let's not forget the other side of that coin. For all the risk, the potential reward is just incredible. If you can execute this model with absolute precision and integrity, well, you're not just building houses anymore. You're building communities. You're building financial freedom. You are building real, life-changing, generational wealth for thousands of families. So there it is. The architect's plan is laid out, the need is obviously there, and the model is sound. The only question left is also the most important one. Who's going to step up and build it?